My apology. My apology. I'm sitting up here talking to the screen again. I'm talking to the screen again. Crip, what you and Alicia got going on? What going on? I try to figure this out. Crypto, can y'all hear me? Am I live? What y'all got going on? Talk about pray for me. I'm here reading and I get to laughing. Hold up, Alicia for America. What y'all got going on? I got a thing going on. Alicia for America. Make America great again with cryptonomics. We're going to put some economics in the demonstration. How y'all doing today? Yeah, family. I've been on the battlefield, so I haven't been able to be in here. That's right. I had to rush into court and do some things with court. So, yeah. All in the name of liberation and revolution. Let me stop laughing before I choke myself. Let me stop laughing before I choke myself. I'm sitting up here eating pomegranate seeds and choking myself. You know what I mean? Are these really seeds? Is this original apple that they say Eve might have partaken of? Is I'm saying that right? Hey, family, listen. Trump, what's up, Real Talk? Trump is stopping DEI. So the FBA is going to be short. They won't get no disability no more. They won't get no disability no more. Man, shout out to those who got Medicare, disability, and all that. But the FBA, they intellectually disabled. I'm telling you. We used to call them tar, ed. That's what we used to call them. Yeah. No, listen, I know everybody all sensitive now, but back in the day when we were younger, we didn't call them intellectual disabled. But the FBA are intellectually disabled, family. They ain't gonna get no check. They ain't getting no check. They wanted to support Trump, do they? Okay, now he getting y'all slow bus check. If you don't know what intellectually disabled is, it means you're dead.
Certified boogeyman.
All right. You ain't getting that slow check. You wanted to vote for Trump, did you? All right now. He in office now.
You speak the truth.
No more slow check for the FBA.
Whether you like that truth or not.
What up, Thurman
We're
Smart?
in the 21st century.
No more school bus check.
Naked and out of doors.
That's
People
over.
are being murdered on a daily and consistent basis.
It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you. A couple
Let's
weeks
go,
before
fellas.
crept through.
We gonna
They
teach
put the
something
bean
tonight.
on me. I didn't neglect you.
Yeah, let me say it.
Time's up. Allow
Let me
me to
say it.
bless you. They yell reparation and they got your attention. A failed clown
I'ma teach
rapper
tonight.
claimed he was pimping, but you don't know he was a fed since 9-0. Cosmo
teach
Flex
tonight.
was a front for 5-0.
You can't get dropped in a pit of snakes
I'ma teach tonight.
and trying to figure out which one has the venom sac. I'm this Charles. This one is not poison.
FBA was laughing when he went to the Romans. I guess they don't understand that's who own them. Lying on GS, claiming I stalked them. That ain't true, cause if it was, I'd have chalked them. I'm simply a blogger, researching for the family. Cause people look like me, continue
we
to
gonna
scam
teach
me.
tonight.
Continue to scam us in the name of liberation. But when I call them out, they claim that I'm hating.
Who says I smack somebody? Hey, we gonna teach tonight.
Your chest out, then
Yeah.
fly
Certified
thousands of miles. Check it out.
For a
Certified
peace order.
boogeyman.
For a peace order.
I'm back like I left
man.
something. and you kept frontin', sick the Romans on me, but they ain't really stopping nothing. How you say you slap a man and go get a peace order? Something ain't adding up. Now I'm in the deep waters, I done took a deep dive.
Alicia's in the building.
Who named you Tariq? She affiliated with the guns? Nah, you ain't a Sunni or the nation. But ain't nobody question why you perpetrate. See, early in the 90s, they put you on a mission. Hip-hop was conscious, you came with something different. Goofy clown rap to take it off track. But you was so back, nobody followed the act. So they made another character, turned you to a thug. From Cosmo to K-Flex, but still got no love. Album went wood, it was trash, no good. You was hip-hop police, snitching on the hood. How you make a documentary about hip-hop and not include yourself in all your albums that flop? Yeah, you got some dark secrets, I'm here to expose them. And I ain't letting stop until everybody knows them.
In Springfield.
Hold up, family. Who is Alicia for America? Alicia, I'm not familiar with you. Is anybody familiar with Alicia for America? She says, I have to play the game, the song, Feds is watching. Do anybody know Alicia for America? Anybody familiar with who Alicia is? Somebody help me. Where you from, Alicia? Who your mama, your daddy? Who you grew up with? Remember back in the day? Y'all remember back in the day? Y'all remember that? Back in the day? Remember back in the day? You look like, are you kin to? Are you kin to Thomas down there on Rose Avenue? Are you kin to? Huh? Are you kin to? Y'all remember that? Somebody strange show up and you start looking at them funny and then you try to pick them apart. Hold up. Are you Shirley, baby? I don't know you, Alicia. I don't know you, Alicia. I don't know you. Come clean. Who are you? What are you doing? What are you doing? Popping up here, we making requests. I mean, you make a donation or something, what you do? Who are you? I mean, that's right. We gonna pander. We gonna pander up in here. I got a lot going on around here. That's right. Come and enjoy my show. GS. You wanna call the show because you in Germany. Can't call you now. So listen. I used to follow Sinetta and AKA Filthy Frank. I mean, let me see. My brother in Germany. So listen, I'm going to get an international number. How can I call? I'm in Germany. What time is it in Germany? You know what I mean? What up, Deronda? Queen Mayat girl. Oh, that's who that is. Queen Mayat girl. Oh, I remember you now. Yeah. I remember you now, Queen Mayat girl. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Are you happy that Trump is in office now, Queen Mayat girl? Huh? Are you happy? Who is DJ Dax? You know what I mean? We got a lot of new people in here asking for requests. I don't know, man. Y'all making me nervous now. Feel like I'm in the interrogation room. I need you to play that song right there. You know they're using these songs today. Let me hear you play it today. Man, you're going to have to Google that demonstration tonight. You're going to have to Google that demonstration tonight. That's right. You're going to definitely have to Google that demonstration tonight. I'm getting nervous and I'm trembling. Strangers coming up in here asking me all these questions. Oh, no. I'm nervous. Uh-oh. buddy, new accounts coming in. Can you play the song where you say you smacked the man upside the head? No, buddy, not tonight. You got to Google it. And I did not write the song, nor did I perform it. No, no, no. You won't get me like that. I went to school from the old school, but what I will play is something real cool. This is coming from a special request also. Let the horns go. Yes, indeed. Yeah.
I be that more you
This all you get tonight. This all you get tonight.
I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember.
Hey, there you go.
I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. You a friend of the more than you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I speak about the prophet over Drew Ali, who was the first to remind you and bind you back to Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi, and Quebec. Told you you wasn't black, proved it with straight facts. You tripping off trucks, you need to be tripping off that. But here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same people talk European how to bathe, and looking at women buying European hair. No love for self, but do the men really care? Hell now, cause they got a love for Europe. Whole generation chasing pills, weed and syrup. Yeah, they love loyalty. Tucci, Gucci, Kodak, Amigos, Ross, Lucid. But when the love for the woman look like your mother, I guess they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now cypher, I be that more you gon' remember.
I make more money than rappers.
I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right.
Back. Slow it down. Anyway, family, we're going to have a lesson tonight. Have you heard, hey, family, have you heard about the foundational white Americans? Family, they got the foundational white Americans now, family. This is just too much. This is just too much. They got foundational black Americans. They got foundational white Americans. This is just way too much. This is just way too much. I don't know what, family, listen. The funny thing about this is that we already knew that it was a setup from the beginning. The foundational black American concept is nothing but a distraction. We already know it's nothing but a distraction. But now to compound the problem, you got foundational Latin Americans and you got foundational white Americans. And what it is preparation. I put the rest in the Cash App. Let's do it. Thank you so much, Thurman Smart. I'm going to need it. I'm telling you, I'm going to give people updates soon. I'm just trying to find a platform to do it on. Thank you so much, Thurman Smart. Yeah, FBA versus FLA. Gloves are off. And so they're beginning to unite on Twitter and these spaces in order to counter some of the rhetoric that has been spewed, I guess, against them, I would imagine, before it got toned down. Do y'all remember that I said the last show, I said Mr. Nasheed, he no longer goes after the Mexicans. Remember I said that? I just said that last show. And up jumped the boogeyman. Somebody send me a group that was going on in Twitter, a space on X, where the foundational Latin Americans have now formed. Oh, yeah, they now formed. And they say the gloves is off. I say, good goodness, that's crazy. So at the end of the day, family, listen. One of the things that making yourself an island, especially in America, if you will, as a group of people making yourself an island that nobody knows about for real. Like if you really consider it, let's say 43 million of those who are descendants from the inhabitants of Africa suffered the slave trade here in America and the atrocities that came with it. Maybe .0000001% is FBA, or less than that. Most people don't even know what it is. So these people have put themselves into a little corner. Now, we know it's just playing. It's like Barbie and Ken. You know, it's on the internet, it's Barbie and Ken, and on the internet you can make yourself who you want to be. You know, like Barbie and Ken Playhouse, you know what I mean? We're gonna go swimming. Let's jump in the Barbie Corvette. Like that's all FBA is. And you know what I mean? So, but anyway. People think that it's a real thing when they on the internet too long. Some people need to get off the internet. You know what I mean? Some people need to get off Twitter and go out into the real world. You know what I mean? Go out there and actually go into the Jamaican spot, island cuisine, and talk about, I'm an FBA. Before you leave, give me some oxtail and what else you got there? Some of that sugar bread. Give me some of that sugar bread. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. This is what they be all about. At least expose the hustler, Tariq. Let's go. Islam. What made the goofy ninja believe whites and other races won't replicate reparation movement? Now, but watch this, Alicia. I really thank you for your support. Watch this, family. I want y'all, if y'all can stay with me for the next 45 minutes to an hour, I am going to give you something that's going to shut everything down. Honestly, like, I'm going to shut everything down. Everything that the FBA put forward, I said, no, CO, let me correct you. You ain't a true tether. It's called cocoa bread. CEO, my bad. You ain't no true tether. Ain't no sugar bread. It's called cocoa bread. You want a double too? Who make the doubles? Trinidad. You want some doubles too? Make sure you say that right. No, but tonight, I really, listen, family, how can you not love our culture and diversity? Just like CEO said, cocoa bread. How can you not love our diversity? You know what I mean? Cocoa bread. Shut in, shut out. Anybody know about that? The Trinidad joke? The shut them up, the shut in, shut outs. Good goodness and grace at me. That I ate meat, that was the third thing. How can you deny our cultures, man? I mean, we got so many varieties. Only thing FBA got, now listen, family, don't get me wrong. I'm vegetarian vegan, and I say vegetarian vegan because sometimes some of the stuff that they sneak in, some of the things that I buy on the run might have milk in it or something like that, right? But let me tell you something. Can we be honest with one another? I don't know if we got company in here or not, but can we be honest? Can we be honest, family? Do you know that the FBA and what we call soul food is the stuff that even destroyed our soul, brother, sister, friends? Do we even know this? I mean, do we even know that majority of the meals was fried chicken, hot dogs? What else? Fried chicken, hot dogs. If you cut out the pork, hamburgers and steak. That's the whole kit and caboodle right there. That's it. Fried chicken, hot dogs. I'm just saying, maybe I was less fortunate, but that was the cuisine. But just think about it when we expand our community. Think about when we expand our community. We take that fried chicken and we make some jerk chicken. Mm-hmm. We take that spinach and we make some callaloo. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We take that potted meat and we throw it in the trash can. We ain't doing nothing with that potted meat. Chitterlings. You know, when I was growing up, you know how I be butchering words? I'm going to have a little fun though. You know how I be butchering words? Like when I was growing up, I thought it was really chitlins. But they asked the chitterlings. Hey, Valley. Listen to me. When I was growing up, right, Yeah, brown stew, chicken, rice, and peas. That's right. I'm growing up, right? I grew up, I thought it was chitlins. Y'all, what you got in that house, lady? Boy, it's stinking this daggone house. We having chitlins tonight. I thought they were chitlins. I grew up and found out they was chitterlings. the dumbest. Let me get the show started. When I start joking like that, that means I miss y'all, man. I hope y'all miss me too. It's chitlins. It's chitterlings. Crackling. Ain't no crackling. It's pork rinds. Talking about crackling. Would you like to get some crackling? I don't smoke no crack. I sell it. No, I'm just playing. Let me stop. Man, listen, man. How can you not like our diversity? We are some sick people. We'll give up our diversity for nothing, man. We crazy. Just think about it, fam. Just think about it. Anybody ever went to a Jamaican stand where they chopping up that chicken on that dirty half a cut barrel, and it's not dirty. They just used it so long. You know what I'm saying? And anybody else, they chop it here and just throw it on your plate like they mad at you. Anybody ever? Press 7 if you ever had one. If you ain't did that, then you ain't got no. You ain't nothing. If you ain't did that, they just chop that joint up with that big old hatch. Pack up, and then they just throw, bam, like dang, what I do to you? Like that. Anybody ever had that before? They like threaten you. They be smacking that joint, back up, and they cut that like man, I ain't did nothing to you, man. Like, I don't eat no meat no more, but I remember those days. That's called culture, man. That's called culture, man. You know what I mean? And this is the thing. When people start to deny our diversity, they deny their own children's experience, their own children's cultures. Their own children won't be inspired to do something that they ought not even try to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. I love the diversity of my people. I'm trying to tell you. Now, my brother, he's into the culture of Kenya, and he be messing with the bread and balling in his hand and dipping it. Brother, I'm not doing that one though. I love my people from Kenya and different parts of Africa, but I can't ball the bread. I ain't there yet. You understand what I'm saying? But I love my people. That ain't no reason to separate myself from them. I can't. I ain't there yet. I ain't there yet. My brother, he love it. This how you do it, man. I don't need instructions, brother. I'm good. I don't need no instruction. But guess what? I love my people just and still. Give me a fork, please. I'm telling you, I'm still working on myself. I'm still working on myself. But is that reason enough for me to attack my people? Is that reason enough for me to disrespect my people? That's insane. That's insane. So anyway, family, we going to get started, family. Please honor the diversity. We honor diversity when we go and eat at other cultural affairs, when we go and eat other meals that has been appropriated by other cultures. We honor diversity then, but only on the internet do we act like we have a blood sworn enemy against someone that look like us. That is insane. Somebody said, yeah, you went to the Vegan Outdoor Festival. Sure enough, I was there too. You know what I mean? But anyway, thanks again, Thurman Smart. Thanks again, American Alicia for America. And I'm going to see if I can get Cryptonomics email for you so y'all can go and chop that demonstration up. You know what I'm saying? But family, I got one for you tonight, family. Family, I hope you got on your thinking cap. You know what I mean? Is anybody familiar with Ann Coulter? I think it's Coulter. Anybody feel familiar with her? She's I think she could be, if you will, she appears to be racist, right? But she is one of the FBA's biggest supporters. One of Tariq Nasheed's biggest supporters, family. But I want y'all to pay a close attention to this, family. Listen what she said. This country owes something to descendants of slaves, descendants of American slaves. Listen to this, family. I want you to pay close attention to this because this is FBA's allies. And this is why I say they are intellectually disabled. This is one of their allies. Hey, family, I want to make sure you hear me. So if I say press 7, that means that I want to confirm that you actually hear me. So I want you to confirm this. This is one of their allies. All right? Now watch this. The country owes something to descendants of American slaves. Safe neighborhoods, good schools, and jobs not outsourced or given to immigrants. But these grind immigrants come in whom we owe nothing and demand the benefits meant for black Americans. Now, this is the game that they play. At Tariq Nasheed, so she CC'd Tariq Nasheed in this, right? She is one of the first ones who has been reporting FBA and on a major platform, one of the first ones. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I'm not the biggest fan of cancel culture, but if anything gets canceled, it should be major American university named after a slave trader. And she says, Yale. Guest workers claiming their slaves flogged, yelled, abused. Now, I want you to pay a close attention to this, right? This is one of FBA's greatest allies. And what FBA does is they echo many of the sentiments that this person also puts out, but they just push it towards, if you will, they push it towards Haitians, Africans, et cetera, right? Case in point. Thank you.
You are so bright and articulate, and I guess I can call you articulate since you're not an American black. Can't say that about them. That's derogatory. Oh,
things like this. You feel me? Now, this is one of the allies, right? Now remember, let me play it one more time.
you are so bright and articulate, and I guess I can call you articulate since you're not an American black. Can't say that about them. That's derogatory. Oh,
now you notice how the Indian guy that was running for president, he also laughs. You know what I'm saying? And now the person may say, hold up. What does this got to do with FBA? I'm telling you that she endorses FBA. And FBA are using many of her same talking points. That's what I'm trying to say. This is a hidden hand culture to try to make it appear that the immigrants is the problem. But in reality, this is a culture to reinforce white supremacy, European authority. You understand what I'm saying? This is what this culture is about. This is what FBA is a part of. And I'm going to prove it tonight. This is what FBA is a part of, to reinforce European authority and white supremacy. I'm going to prove it to you. Watch this. Watch this. I'm going to prove it to you. This is a whole scheme going on. Right? So, let's get it on. Let me open this up for you. Now, Ann Cartier, listen what she said. Listen to this. And I might be saying her name wrong, and I apologize if I do, but I'm only quoting her. It says, Ann Cartier is spot on. The 14th Amendment was never for immigrants, anchor babies. Who do we hear say anchor babies all the time? Who would hear say that? Now, we know that's a term that was brought in by white supremacists, et cetera, but don't we hear Tariq Nasheed say that about Haitians, say that about Jamaicans, say that about, what do you say, culture. Say that about Haitians, say that about Jamaicans. Don't we hear that? This is what I mean by the talking points. Let me slim myself down a little bit. This is what I mean by the talking points. These talking points are not original talking points that we have ever used. We've never used these talking points as a people. Never. We could disagree with a political agenda. We could disagree with a political proponent or someone who was not in our best interest, but we never use these terminologies. We never used this. It was, and now listen to this. She's married to Jimmy Walker from Good Times. No, she can't be. Well, let me tell you something about Jimmy. Jimmy. Listen, notice she referring to us as, this was a person on Twitter says, notice she referring to us as foundational black Americans. White people are forced to acknowledge that we are not Africans. Our message is spreading everywhere. Keep standing on delineation. What people don't understand is, even these foundational black Americans, they don't understand that they are part of a collective agenda. They are part of a collective agenda. This is not you forcing Europeans to call you FBA. It's an agenda. And these, I'm telling you, these intellectually people don't understand that they are part of a bigger brainwashing and an agenda that doesn't include them to be at the table, but on the table. You are nothing but food. Now, let's go to the next. Ann Coulter tells Nikki Haley to go back to your own country in a racist rant against the new GOP presidential candidate. Who does that sound like? This is what the FBA does. This is why I say intellectual disability exposed. This is what they do. Anybody on Twitter know that this is what they do. This is what they do. This is what they do. Let's read this. Conservative pundit Ann Coulter is under fire for racist tirade against new Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley. Now, what I'm saying is that FBA repeat the same talking points. That's all I'm saying. In an appearance on the Mark Simon Show podcast this week, Coulter made several xenophobic comments about Haley, the former governor of South Carolina who was born in the U.S. to Indian immigrant parents. Why don't you go back to your own country? Don't that sound familiar? I don't understand why those who claim FBA have not done their research and don't understand that they're repeating the same racist things that was said to us just 50 years ago. Somebody says she supported ADOS briefly before launching FBA. That's right, because it's the same agenda. ADOS, FBA is the same agenda. And I'm going to prove it by the end of this show. I'm going to prove it by, I'm pointing down here I'm going to prove it by the end of this show. There is no reparations coming. There is no reparations coming. Can I say again? Hey, Crypto, I'm going to prove tonight that there is no reparations coming, and this is agenda, a hidden agenda. But it's not really hidden because it's right in front of our face. It's right in front of our face. I'm going to prove tonight. If I don't do nothing, I'm going to prove tonight. I'm going to prove tonight that the FBAs are working the same agenda. Just 50 years ago, 60 years ago, they was telling us to go back to our country, like we had a country. Y'all remember that? Hey, Crip, but tonight I'm going to prove it emphatically. We already know ain't no reparations coming, but tonight I'm going to prove it emphatically.
I'm going to prove it emphatically. We're going to shut down all arguments tonight. And we're going to show that this FBA thing that was founded upon reparations, that ADOS that was founded upon reparations, that they pose to understand what they're up against, but they don't know the basics of what I'm going to share tonight. But let me just get it. Oh yeah, this is going to be one that I need people to screen share this stuff and everything. Spread it around the internet. Her candidacy did remind me that I need to immigrate to India so I can demand that they start taking down parts of their history, she says. What's with worshiping cows? They're all starving over there. Did you know that they had a rat temple where they worship rats? Haley did not respond to a request for comments, but these are the same things. Oh, I'm sorry. These are the same things that they would say to us. Remember? You know how the term coon came about? Anybody know how the term coon came about? The term coon came about because, listen, the term coon came about because the slaveholder would throw away the food into the garbage disposed place outside, and then he would see slaves going through the garbage for scraps as if it was a coon. See, we took the term coon and used it for some that was disloyal to the struggle. But coon was a term coined by the slaveholder because the slave holder was not feeding the slaves a full diet. And so the slaves would have to go into the trash can and grab the scraps. And that's where you get the term coon from. And so when you look at things like this, do you know they had a rat temple? This is the same thing that they did to us. This is how they characterize us. But our people are survivors, and we had to do what we had to do to survive. But guess what? It was ridiculed. And then later on in life, later on down the line, people will call people coons for being disloyal. But that's not how the term was created. How can you attribute a coon to someone being disloyal? What is the attribute of a coon? Sneaky? Nah, a coon is a scavenger. And that's where the term came from. You know what I'm saying? And then we begin to use it on each other. So the same time that now that they used it on, now listen. Now that they're making up these names for modern problems as it relates to immigrants, these are the same thing they was doing to us. But these are in alliance with FBAs. This is why I say intellectual disability. These people are intellectually disabled. That's the bottom line. They're intellectually disabled. They listen to anything. Listen, fam, let me go to the next one. We're going to teach tonight. Carter also called Haley a bimbo and a preposterous creature, criticizing her for having advocated removing the Confederate flag, there it goes, from the grounds of the South Carolina State House in the wake of 2015 shooting at Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church in Charleston. Now, let's stop right there for a second. And is combative to this politician because the politician support removing the Confederate flag after killing of a melanated person. Yet, right here, I would like to hear your thoughts on this. I'm the biggest fan of cancel culture. I would like to hear your thoughts on this at Tariq Nasheed. Do anybody know? Do anybody really know the history behind? We're going to talk about this in a minute. We're going to talk about this thing in a minute. But the history behind this Confederate flag thing. I watch some people
just try to use it as a fashion symbol. But do we know that literally the fight to preserve the Confederate flag was a fight to preserve slavery? Like in context, this flag was the people that resisted freeing slaves. This is what this flag is about. So when you see somebody like Charleston White or somebody else in the South throwing the flag, obviously they have some history. These people didn't want to let go slavery. That's what this was all about. It has no more other meaning than that when people try to reestablish and reinforce and hold on to the Confederate flag. And I say, hold on to your culture. That's your culture. I'm fine with that. Listen, I'm not going to browbeat you on what you want to stand on, but let's not sugarcoat it and act like it wasn't to keep slavery going. Let's not sugarcoat it. You know what I mean? Let's not sugarcoat it and act like, oh, we just wanted to be a separate territory. Nah. You wanted to be a separate territory with your slaves and your same laws that prevented the advancement of melanated people. That's just what it was. That's just what it was. You ain't want to free your slaves. That's what it was. Didn't want to pay taxes. They didn't want to free their slaves. Now, with that being said, let's go to the next, because we're about to break this down. We're about to break this all the way down. The funniest thing about this is that in 1751, the great American polymath Benjamin Franklin worried about a small number of purely white people in the world. All Africa, he wrote, is black or tawny. Asia, chiefly tawny. And in Europe, the Spaniards, Italian, French, Russians, and Swedes are generally of what we call swarthy complexion. Now, let me stop right there. The history lesson on that is that when the North African Moors went in conquering for hundreds of years, this is what they would ultimately do. You know, in all wars, the first thing they do was get the booty, get the women, and then they will mix that dark seed, and that's where you get the swarthy, and you will get the tawny, and you will get those type of complexion. What that would be is from the lightest hue to the darkest hue. And this is what Benjamin Franklin is talking about. So he said Asia chiefly tawny. That's a complexion right below. What up, Sean? Right below what we call black or dark brown, right? It's a little lighter than that. And in Europe, the Spaniards, Italians, French, Russian, and Swedes are generally what we call swarthy. Now, that's a little bit more lighter, you know what I mean, complexion. As also Germans also. Only the Saxons and the English make the principal body of white people on the face of the earth. The reason why I'm pointing this out, I mean, no, Underground Raw. Don't mix my class up, and don't mix up time periods. Don't mix my time, Underground Raw. Don't mix up time periods. Anyway, let me finish. Don't disturb the class, Underground Raw. I'm talking about a specific time when the Moors was conquering Europe, and they was moving in and out those countries in Europe. I'm not talking about the time before then. I'm talking about a specific block of time. Work with me. Anyway, with that being said, right? The next thing I want to share with you is that only the Saxons and the English made principal body of white people on the face of the earth. Now, I want you to pay attention to that saying right there, because I want to share with you what the ally to the FBA says. All right? Listen to what the ally says.
You are so bright and articulate, and I guess I can call you articulate since you're not an American black. Can't say that about them. That's derogatory. Oh, and I agreed with many things you said during, in fact, probably more than most other candidates when you were running for president. But I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian.
How's everybody doing? My name is.
Y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that part? Let me see one more time. Y'all get to check that out? Let's do it again.
Not have voted for you because you're an Indian. There is a core national identity that is the identity of the WASP. And that doesn't mean we can't take anyone else in, a Sri Lankan or a Japanese or an Indian.
This is FBA's ally. You hear what I say? This is the ally. This is the one where someone said, you see, the white people, they must call us FBA. This is one of the supporters of FBA. But why are they supporter of the FBA? Because they know that the FBA, they know that the FBA is an operation. All of it's an operation. Listen. Now, she's foundational white American. That's what she says. She says she's foundational white American. Where she said that? Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. She's foundational white American, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, here go one way. She said, Ann Coulter told me flat out to my face that she couldn't vote for me because you're an Indian. Even though she agreed with more than most other candidates, I disagree with her, but respect, she has the guts to speak her mind. Not him yet. I'm trying to find that one second where, you know, she literally foundational white American. where that thing at? You know what I mean? Hold up. I think I had it up here a minute ago. You know what I mean? I just want to. Where is that? She had something with the. Hold on. I'm going to find this thing. Foundational white American. Oh, there it is right there. There it is right there. There it is. My bad. There it is. And called it foundational black Americans and foundational white Americans are under attack. You see what I'm saying? But remember, she says, I just played the video. Let's play it again.
Not have voted for you because you're an Indian. There is a core national identity that is the identity of the WASP. And that doesn't mean we can't take anyone else in.
The core identity, in other words, the leadership belongs to the WASP, white, Anglo-Saxon, Protestant. All right? White, Anglo-Saxon, Protestant. That's her sentiments. I'm going to play it again.
National identity that is the identity of the WASP. And that doesn't mean
the national identity. You feel me? But on the left side of your screen, foundational black Americans and foundational white Americans are under attack by Democrats. Now remember that the foundational black Americans, their talk has always been to browbeat the Democrats. And I'm telling you that I've been saying that they're birds of the same, they're the same bird with a separate wing. You see?
we can't take anyone else in, a Sri Lankan or a Japanese or an Indian, not have voted for you.
You know what I mean? Watch this.
But the core around which the nation's values are formed is the WASP. We've never had a president who didn't have at least partial English ancestry. Never.
No, I think that that's an interesting tour through that historical.
So what is the angle for FBA? The angle for FBA is to make sure that the European power structure stays in power. That's what, and this is why she connects with FBA, because FBA helps in the endeavor for the European power structure to remain in place. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Press 7 if you understand what I'm saying. FBA is instrumental in keeping the power structure in 1764. That's what FBA is all about. That's why FBA attacks. That's why it attacks Haitians. They don't want diversity. That's why they attack, and they talk about foundational Black Americans, what we owe. They haven't written one legislation. They haven't did one thing that's instrumental in securing anything that they crying about. They haven't set up one panel. They haven't set up one. They did a couple dances or something. They did a couple dances, but they haven't did nothing instrumental in that civilized people to advance themselves as a people, or to advance us as a people. But they claim that they're doing some work. They claim that they got some type of movement. They claim all of these things, but in reality, they're only helping the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. That's what's going on, family. And this is why I say it's an intellectual disabled group. It's an intellectual disabled group, and there's no running from this. It's an intellectual disabled group. And the next time someone talk about reparations, I want y'all to share this video with them, because I'm about to break down reparations in 2 minutes. But I got 20 minutes left. I'm about to break down reparations in a few minutes. Because they're talking, did anybody hear the statement that Trump made about the 14th Amendment? I was fooled about the 14th Amendment also. I'm not fooled no more. Thanks to the teacher of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, I'm not fooled no more. Know what I mean? I'm not fooled no more. But I'm telling you, they're working this agenda. They're working this agenda. The agenda is to maintain the power structure that has always dominated the United States and European conquered places. It's never about to bring and share power. Anytime someone that comes into power that doesn't look like white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, they are nothing more than puppets. That's all they have been. It could change in the future, but today history will prove that they have been nothing more than puppets. They have been gatekeepers. They don't want to share power, whether you like it or not. This is the reason why after slavery, they wanted to bring in the Ku Klux Klan. They wanted to bomb the church. I mean, man, people look at the bombing the churches and the bombing of the don't want to vote and all of these things. Listen, that was to prevent from political power. So this is why a lot of times moist lips will say, we're playing the couch. No, you need to know how to play the political game, because at one time in the South, most of the places was ran by people that had just got out of slavery, because they understood how to use the political system until they got murdered, until they got hung, until they got outnumbered with horses and guns. But there's a lesson in that for everybody. Get some horsepower and some powder. Now, I don't want to incite no nonsense. I'm just saying. We got to study history. Thank you so much, Gracella. We got to study history. The objective before the Reconstruction was to stop, quote unquote, black people political power. That was the objective. The objective was not, I don't like black people. The objective was not, I disagree with their politics. That wasn't it. That was a sidebar. The main objective was to control areas politically. That's what it's all about. That's all about. Because if you control something politically, you hold the pen to the check. Do y'all understand? Press 7 if you understand. Once you obtain political power, you got the pen in your hand. Now, as you see what Trump is doing with all these executive orders, that's real power. The pen is mightier than the sword. That's real power. And when you understand politics to the fullest degree, you understand local politics is the building blocks to national politics. So when you get the pen in your hand on local politics, you got your hand on the check. They don't want your hand on the check. And this is why they don't want those who are born here to have citizen by birthright, because you will have access to the pen. Listen, man, this is about white power. This is about white power. The more immigrants come in here, the less likely that white supremacy will exist in the next 100 years. It might be Indian supremacy. It might be Negro supremacy, but it won't be white supremacy. And so this is an agenda, not a Trump agenda. It's the office of the presidency agenda to preserve this union. It's about preserving this union from you. And they got people on the gate line to try to make sure that it happens that way. You understand what I'm saying? People, listen, Moorish World TV is one of the most profound shows, I believe, and I'm the host of it on the internet because I'm willing to show and prove. I'm willing to show and prove. I'm willing to debate anybody on what I say. Local politics depend on individual communities. Absolutely. You ain't said nothing wrong. You ain't said nothing wrong. Now, but I'm telling you, these people that's holding these metaphorical bullhorns on X and on these places, family, they are doing nothing but helping to further the agenda of white supremacy. That's why Ann can say foundational black Americans and foundational white Americans are under attack, but at the same time want to preserve the culture of slavery by the way of the Confederacy. You follow me? Now, let's get to it. Now, I want to get to this real quick. Let me get to this real quick. This was a post that somebody sent to me about Tariq, Nasheed, and this post about this Nigerian. So I'm going to touch on it because it was an audience choice. I'm going to touch on it, what I think about this. Mr. Nasheed's right. There is a Nigerian dude who's selling online courses on how to look like FBAs and how to talk with foundational black American accents. Fam, let me explain something to you. This is propaganda child's play. Let me explain what I mean by that. If you notice, there's 519 comments, and many of the comments have some sort of disdain with this practice. That's because FBAs have been taught to be emotionally unstable and ignorant and intellectually slow. This is just what it is. Why you say that? But Tariq Bey, he's trying to sell courses on how to look like FBA. Family, one thing for sure and two things for certain. We know our Nigerian brothers, sisters are some of the greatest hustlers, scammers, and whatever more you want to call them on the internet. We already know that. That's no secret. That's not a shot at Nigerian. We already know that. I might get a call tonight. Hi, brother. I just got lost in New York. Can you just send me a Cash App? No, give me your Cash App. Give me your Cash App handle. And be scared deaf. No, but we already know this. It's not a shot. Listen. That's no different. That's no different than some of the cultural overtones that other parts of our community have. You know what I'm saying? One of the cultural overtones is, for instance, what is one of the cultural overtones about Jamaicans? They got 100 jobs. You know what I mean? They got 100 jobs. But when we play all the time, you must be Jamaican, man. You work at the gas station. You work at the restaurant. These are cultural things. These are cultural things that we joke about all the time. You follow what I'm saying? But it's never enough to become enemies with somebody. Listen, we all been in some sort of struggle, so we don't knock the hustle. We say just don't hustle me and don't hustle us. So we get that. You know what I mean? And I'm not justifying one trying to sell how to look urban, talk New York, Negro, or whatever you want to call it. But let me tell you something, family. The thing I got a problem with is this. If you want to check that, that's fine. If you want to check that, that's fine. The problem that I have is that nobody never checks anybody else. Learn to speak Spanish with American accent. You know what I mean? They do this all the time. They get paid millions and millions of dollars to learn to leave their accent at the door and speak with an American accent. There's many courses in this. You can go to college and do one. This is everywhere. This is everywhere. If you're Chinese and you don't want to have your accent to give you a dead giveaway, and you done got some surgery on your eyes or whatever the case may be, you can go and learn how to drop your accent. These things have been around forever. But now you see a Nigeria try to scam and teach somebody how to talk Ebonics. Come on, man. We waste time with so much stuff. Like, is that really important? These are the distractions, family. These are the distractions. And when you look at the comment section, they would act like someone that went crazy and try to run them over in the middle of Central Park. Nah, man, these are cultural things that have become a norm. But let the FBA tell it. Oh, they're trying to appropriate our culture. Who doesn't try to appropriate our culture? Can we be honest? Who doesn't? That's what get me. Who doesn't try to appropriate our culture, family? If we was going to live our life by those who appropriate our culture, we wouldn't have no time to do nothing else. We wouldn't have no time to do nothing else. Are there scammers and hustlers? Scammers and hustlers are everywhere. Talking about? Are they scammers and hustlers? Yep. And guess who else scammers and hustlers? We got scammers and hustlers in our community. We got Italians got scammers and hustlers. Every group of people got scammers and hustlers. That ain't nothing new. That's a waste of time. That's a waste of time. I'm just saying that these are distractions, family. That's all I'm saying. I'm not defending the practice. I could care less. I think we got bigger fish to release. Don't you? Do you think we got bigger fish to release to worry about somebody creating a page to try to teach somebody how to speak hood? I mean, come on. Are we going to ever grow up? Are we going to ever grow up as a people? Do you think that we got time to worry about some Nigerian in some little back room teaching people how to speak like he from New York? All the things that we up against, we really got time for that? That's what I'm saying, man. Like, we need to prioritize. That's not a priority. Oh, he trying to scam people and teach people. Okay, bring the guy on the show. Have a show about it. It's the social media age, and let's see what you come up with. And if you can't get that, then, man, come on, man. The scammer that I'm worrying about is the one that's able to raise $1 million for a liquor store, and yet we still got crime, we still got robbery, we still got the same thing going on right in front of the liquor store that's supposed to be a museum. That's my problem. My problem is that one talking about their grassroots and living in a gated community and don't even have a community to call their own. That's the problem we have. The problem that we have is within. Our problem ain't without. Our problem within. What I mean by that? We allow any and everybody amongst us to look us in the face and act like they fighting for us. And act like they representing us. And act like they doing something that's in the best interest in us. When in fact, what they really doing is being a party to keeping white supremacy going. So I thought impersonation was supposed to be flattery. How many groups of people on the planet Earth? You got Chinese people right now, they got this process to get nappy hair. They got the process to get nappy hair. Do we got time to spend to worry about? Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Let me see if I can pull that up. See if I can pull that up real quick. Dude, how many people got time to spend on this? How many people got time to do this? Hold up. Let me screen share this real quick. Check this. Let me capture this real quick. I didn't plan this, but I'm going to capture it real quick. Watch this. Let's capture this real quick, just so I can make my point. And how much time we going to spend on this? 1 second. Hold up. Hold up. Let me go back, because I want to get you a real one. Here we go, right here. Right here. Y'all see that? Look at this. How much time we got to spend on this? We got time for this? Why ain't nobody talking about this? Talking about somebody teaching somebody how to talk like how they talk, like to talk from around the way. What about this? Y'all see that? Y'all see that? How much time do they spend on that? Guess why they ain't gonna spend time on that? Because they don't need that diversion. They don't need that diversion. The diversion that they need is you against me, us against us, Haitian against us, Jamaican against us, you against Jamaica. They don't need this. They don't need this diversion. Why ain't nobody speaking about that? Because if they go too far with the Asian, quote unquote, Asian community, they're going to get some backlash. You feel me? You feel me? And when you say the Asian community, guess what? You all inclusive. You're talking about Korean. Because I don't know if he's Korean, Chinese. I don't know what this the guy is ethnically. I don't know. I don't know his nationality. However, when you go in on him, you can expect to hear something back. You can expect to hear something back. But when you go in on a Haitian, all you get is a pile on. When you go in on a Jamaican, all you get is a pile-on. When you go in on somebody that's from this country that you call FBA but don't agree with you, you get a pile-on. But you don't go after this. Nah. This is what I'm telling you. This is supporting white supremacy, family. Let me get on with the show because I want to get down to this part that Trump talked about. As you can see, you can get online courses from anywhere to speak in the way that's more acceptable in America. That's just the fact of the matter, or better understood, if you will. That's just the fact of the matter. USA is the biggest scammer. All credit score is lower than mine. You know what I mean? What really tickled me is how Tariq made his own flag, but ain't got no land. But listen, so now I want to get into this, family. Work with me on this, family, because this is the conclusion of this slow people that we're talking about. They real slow. I'm trying to tell you. Listen to this. Before I go a step further, let me throw this out there real quick. What did she say about? Oh, here you go. This is what she told the Indian
what
guy.
Does ethnicity have to do with the matter? And I think you would be well served.
Hold up. She said, watch it. This is what she told the Indian guy. Thank you so much, Thurman. USA is the biggest scammer of all credit score. Of all. Credit score is lower than mine. Hold up. Listen to this, though. And then I want to knock this reparations thing out the park.
And maybe this could be a great platform for you to do it, to make the case for why that, what you put at WASP basis for the American identity, how is that relevant against a backdrop of which you got the WASP seventh generation descendant of some rich guy on the Upper East Side in Brooklyn that pretends to hate this country because it's the cool thing to do, versus somebody who came here as the kid of immigrants, but pledges loyalty to this country. If loyalty was the access for citizenship, aren't you actually committing a bit of a sin, reverting back to a conception of citizenship that has nothing to do with loyalty in the first place?
Well, I will say many of those seventh generations WASP I definitely hate. I know we have a lot of really, really bad ones, but like I said, anyone can adopt this. I guess what I just said, if any of your children marry a DAR, I would definitely vote for them for president.
How confused is this? She says that if one of his children marry daughters of the American Revolution, then she'll vote for him. All over the place. Racist 1 minute, then marry the daughters of American Revolution, and But this is FBA biggest supporter. Yeah. Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty about this 14th Amendment, because most people don't understand, FBAs don't understand what just took place, and we're going to break it down. Let me see if I can break it down for you real quick.
Hard to get birthright citizenship or automatic citizenship for the children of illegal aliens. That's a
break it down real quick. And I want you to see how many people support this, right? And many of us, listen, this is the lesson for us all. Yeah, she's just playing games. This is the lesson for us all, family. Y'all still with me? Make sure you hit that thumbs up, because this is the lesson for us all. Trump said the 14th Amendment was meant for the children of slaves in America. Mr. Nasheed said he 100% agrees with Trump. Let's play what Trump said. And then I'm going to give you the truth of the matter. All right? I'm going to give you the truth of the matter. And many people, for a long time, I thought this way too, but I learned to open up the book instead of look at the cover. Now watch this.
Ethnicity have to do with the matter. And I think you would be well served.
Oh, my bad. Wrong thing.
in other words, automatic. Hard to get birthright citizenship or automatic citizenship for the children of illegal aliens. That's another way. It's automatic citizenship for children of illegal aliens. That's the other term that they use, which is actually...
This is the triggering thing, and here you go with Nasheed using the trigger to compound it to get FBAs involved. Watch this.
More accurate, more understandable. And it's ridiculous. We're the only country that has it, and certainly the only country that has it to that extent. And it wasn't meant, if you look, it was really meant for children of slaves. This is...
Family, that is only half of the truth, and it's not the whole truth. Do anybody understand why the 14th Amendment was enacted? Anybody know? Anybody know the greater detail why the 14th Amendment? It wasn't just about no slaves. It wasn't about that. Let's read the 14th Amendment. Let's read it. Family, whenever somebody tell you something, I don't care if you're 50, if you're 60, whenever somebody tell you something and you know that you've been told this all your life, take 5 minutes to Google it. You have a computer. You have a computer in your hand. Just take 5 seconds to Google it. And this is something that you can share with your children. This is something you can share with your children. Right? Now, let's get it. Let me bring it to the front real quick. This is something you can share with your children. All right. Is that it? That's not it. Let me move this out the way. All right, here we go right here. Fam, this is a real lesson right here. All right. In this book right here called, I'm not going to read this whole page, but in this book right here called Indians of North Carolina, I'm going to do it like this so we can think together, right? So we can think together. In this book right here, on page 60, I'm going to start at the bottom, and then I'm going to just go to half a page up. All right? Watch this, family. The Crotons, or Crotans, fought under Colonel Barnwell against, and I'm going to butcher some of these words, Tuscaros in 1711. Watch this, family. And the tribe of today speak with pride of the stand taken by their ancestors under Banu for the cause of the whites. In this war, they took some of the Matamusket Indians prisoners and made them slaves. Stop right there. This is where you get the intermixing of Native Americans and the African quote-unquote slave, because they was enslaving Indians too. Many of the Crotons, here we go, family. Many of the Crotons were in the Continental Army. In the War of 1812, a company was mustered into the Army of the United States. And members of the tribe received, you hear this? Listen closely. Members of the tribe received pensions for these services within the memory of the present generation. They also fought in the armies of the Confederate States. Hold on to that real quick. They also fought into the armies of the Confederate States, meaning that they fought on both sides. Politically, here we go. Politically, they have had little chance for development. From 1783 to 1835, pay attention to this lesson, family. To 1835, remember, 1835. From 1835, they had the right to vote. Stop right there. Stop right there. They had the right to vote in 1835. These were so-called Negroes and so-called Indians. This is before the 14th Amendment. How can the 14th Amendment free people that's already free? Perform military duties, encourage schools, and build churches. This is 1835. Press 7 for me. I'm going to explain what the 14th Amendment was all about. Press 7 if you understand. This is 1835. When was the 14th Amendment enacted? These people were citizens. Are y'all understanding me? So the 14th Amendment didn't free all quote-unquote black people. It just didn't. It wasn't designed for that. I'm going to tell you what it was designed for in 1 minute. And no one can deny this. But we don't learn this in school, right? Now watch this. But the Constituents Conventions of 1835, the franchise was denied to all free persons of color. Now they implementing their own stuff. And to the effect of political purpose, it was contended by both parties that the Croatians came under this category. The convention of, here we go, we're moving forward now, of 1868 removed this ban. But as they had long before classed as mulatto, they were obliged to patronize the Negro schools. Remember, we went from 1835 all the way up to 1868. But these are not necessarily laws. These are people that are trampling on rights of free people. It was free, quote-unquote, black people here that the 14th Amendment could not free because they was already free. So what is the 14th Amendment about? I'm telling you, they using the 14th Amendment now to emotionally charge people because most people believe what the teacher told them in school. I couldn't believe what the teacher told me in school without doing my own research. And that's what led me to the Moorish Science Temple of America, because I seen something on this amongst many other things that could debunk all that stuff I was told in school. Now, listen to the commentary of the 14th Amendment. Landmark legislation, family, this is the cheat code. Landmark legislation passed by Senate on June 8th, 1866 and ratified 2 years later. On July 9th, 1968, the 14th Amendment granted citizenship to all persons born or nationalized in the United States, including formerly enslaved people. Why do this commentator use including? Because it was some other people that it made citizens too. This is why the commentator uses including formerly enslaved people. Including mean that there is somebody else that it's making citizens. Press 7 if you hear me. Press 7 if you hear me. This is what they didn't teach in school. And this is a part of the whitewashing and the white supremacy mindset that it freed you and only you. That's not true. So let's, family, are y'all still with me? Did y'all fall asleep yet? I'm almost finished. It just didn't free you. Some of y'all was already free. Let me take it a step further. This is the emotional stuff that they're using on unwilling to thank people right now. So let's deal with the 14th Amendment. The opening sentence section 1 of the 14th Amendment defines U.S. citizenship. All persons born or naturalized in the United States, subject to the jurisdiction thereof, are citizens of the United States and of the states wherein they reside. Family, does that say anything about a slave? Does that say anything? That doesn't say anything about a slave. There has nothing to do with a slave at this point.
And we're only talking about the 14th Amendment because Trump mentioned the 14th Amendment. Tariq said, I agree with Trump about the 14th Amendment. It's not mentioned anything about a slave as of yet. Let's read on down. Let's take it to the first. All right? Let's start off with the first section. Because they're using these emotionally drawn conversations for ignorant people. This is for people that don't want to study. Listen to this. Watch this. All persons born and naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce a law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state survive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny any person within the jurisdiction of equal protection under the law. This is no interpretation. This is what it says. And history can prove what I'm saying. This ain't a court interpretation. History proves why it was written. And I'm going to finish it in a minute. This is not talking about no slave. It doesn't mention slave. So how can someone say the 14th Amendment was specifically about slaves? It doesn't mention slaves. Because we already know what it was about. Watch this. Representatives shall be apportioned among several states according to their respective numbers, counting the whole numbers of a person in each state, including Indians, not taxed. But when the right, it mentions somebody's identity, but not slaves as of yet. But when the right to vote at any election for any choice of electors or president or vice president of the United States, representatives in Congress, the executive and judicial officers of the state, or members of the legislature thereof, is denied to male inhabitants of the state, being 21 years of age and citizens of the United States, or in any way abridged except for participation in rebellion or other crime. The basis of representation therein shall be reduced to the proportion in which the number of which male citizens shall bear the whole number of male citizens 21 years of age in the state. Once again, it does not mention slave yet. It does not mention slave yet. Taliban, you about to get blocked. You're disturbing the class. You want to come and debate this? It doesn't mention slave. You've been taught that it means slave. And so you keep echoing what you've been taught. Nobody interpreted that to mean slave but you. And whoever taught you that, and we've been repeating it, I used to repeat it. It don't mention slave in there. I'm going to show you what it was meant for in a minute and why we attribute it to a slave. It says, let me deal with this first, and then I'm going to break it all the way down. Section 3. It says, no person shall be senator, representative in Congress, or elector, president, vice president, or hold any office or military under the United States, under any state, who have previously taken an oath as a member of Congress, or an officer of the United States, or as a member of any state legislature, or the executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States, shall engage in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or giving aid, comfort to enemies thereof. But Congress may, by a vote of 2/3 of each house, remove such disability. Now, here is the last one that is the cooker. The validity of the public debt of the United States authorized by law, including debts incurred, payment of pensions and bounties for services in supporting insurrections or rebellion, should not be questioned. Watch this, family. But neither in the United States nor in any state shall assume or pay any debt or obligation incurred in aid of insurrection or rebellion against the United States, or any claim for the loss or emancipation of any slave. But all debts, obligations, and claims shall be held illegal and void. Man, it's a horse and pony show about some reparations. If you can overturn that, let's read this last line one more time. Let's read this one more time. But neither the United States nor any state shall assume or pay any debt, obligation incurred in the age
of insurrection or rebellion against the United States, or any claim the loss of emancipation of any slave. But all debts, obligation, and claims shall be held illegal and void. This is why I was trying to get people to debate me. This is why I always would say, debate me, Lord Abba, debate me. Because debating somebody and teaching in a debate is more impactful. Because more people will show up to see a debate. Now, what was the 14th Amendment all about? Let me show you. Give me a second. This is what the 14th Amendment was all about, family. I didn't have time to do this, but I'm going to do it now. This is what the 14th Amendment was all about, family. All right. Here we go right here. All right. Okay, here we go right here. Family, let me break this down to you. And you can do your own research, and I encourage you to do that, right? But this is what the 14th Amendment was all about, family. And don't let nobody lie. Teach your children this. I mean, because all of us was not slaves. And it's a lie to teach people this stuff. I mean, yeah, they've been playing games with us. They've been playing games with us. It's a part of the scheme. The 14th Amendment was about this. Where you see the red, those are the Confederate states. The 14th Amendment, those are the blue is the Union states. You hear me? The 14th Amendment brought the South in connection with the North. So the people that was up north was already citizens of the United States of America. The South was not citizens of the United States of America. So those from the South and the Union, the 14th Amendment was created so they would become citizens of the United States of America. That means the European, that means the ex-slave, that means the runaway slave. They became one country at that point. And the purpose of the 14th Amendment was not just to make slave citizens. It was to make the European citizens of the South. It was to make the rebellious people of the South. It was to make those who did insurrections against the Union of the Confederacy. It was to make all of these people citizens. And that was the purpose of the 14th Amendment. Everything else is a distraction. And I'm telling you, you got to teach your children this, because if you don't, they will continue to lie and make everybody believe that we were slaves when all of us wasn't slaves. And nor can a law make a citizen that a law that already existed. All men are created free and equal, according to the law that predates the 14th Amendment.
Yeah, I'm good.
Check 1, 2. Check. I'm up out of here, man. Y'all ready? 1, 2, check 1, 2. You ain't getting no reparations. It's illegal. This the real deal. Let's go. Yes, sir. It's illegal. Let's go. Talk about. I said the feds is watching, informing, plotting to get me, cause I'm exposing this frauds. They say I'm trolling like 50. They thought they catch me in Cali, smack me up with some charges. If I was 25, I probably would have stuffed them up regardless. On the run from the feds, because that boy is a fed. And then was back in the day, I put a price on his head. You wanna swing on the guard, you little swindling frauds. With the feds on the block, the roof, and in the car. Nah, I'm a little smarter. I live to fight tomorrow. I refuse to let you leave me to slaughter, you little punk. I got children to raise, I got people to uplift. That's how I learned this. My people in grip, and at the same time snitch on anybody suspicious. You're a government witness, and they just changed your name. Gave you a new identity, location, and fame. But we know who you are. You can't hide no more, Marcus. It's coming to light what you done did in the darkness. Been an agent for years. Yeah, back in 91, you infiltrated the rap game. It's Cosmo Flex. Your job is done. The The feds is watching, informants plotting to get me, cause I'm exposing these frauds. They say I'm trolling like 50. I said the feds is watching, informants plotting to get me, cause I'm exposing these frauds. They say I'm trolling like 50. The feds is watching, informants plotting to get me, cause I'm exposing these frauds. They say I'm trolling like 50. I said the feds is watching, informants plotting to get me, cause I'm exposing these frauds. They say I'm trolling like 50, cause I'm exposing these frauds. And there you have it. They say I'm trolling like 50. And now the feds is watching, informants plotting to get me, cause I'm exposing these frauds. They say I'm trolling like 50. I got the heart of Muhammad and the wisdom of Ali. I never say why me, instead I say why you. Didn't heed the warning, you know how I do. Destroy them devils, cause the devil's a punk. It ain't nothing but a distraction, family. And use a Twitter revolutionary way to get hacked. I say, I got smacked, sitting in front of your compact. I'm boots on the ground, 10 toes down out west. I could've called up my people and pulled up to your rest. In your gated community is your federal prison. Don't think that we don't know